News One au cœur de l'information. News One, le tam-tam du continent.
Monday, the 29th of December 2025. A very warm good evening to you all and welcome to the 6:30 p.m. News Live from Yaoundé, the heart of the nation. Coming up tonight in a decisive move to strengthen civil registration and ensure that every identity of a child is recognized, the sum of 266 million francs CFA has been injected into the production of identity cards by the government of Cameroon in a move signaling a major step towards accessible and inclusive documentation for all. The announcement was made in Yaoundé today by Cameroon's Minister of Women's Empowerment and the Family, Professor Marie-Thérèse Abena-Ondua. And also in this edition, in a thrilling encounter, Cameroon's indomitable Lions held reigning African champions Côte d'Ivoire to a 1-1 draw in Marrakech last evening, keeping their dreams alive at AFCON 2025. In tonight's edition of our newscast, we bring to you reactions from the Lions' den. Those were the top stories of the 6:30 p.m. newscast. Details of these and more up next. Thank you for joining us on this edition of the 6:30 p.m. news. My name is Fabrice Ketinga and the news begins right now. For thousands of children across Cameroon, access to education, healthcare and basic social services begins with a simple but crucial document, a birth certificate. Yet many children remain invisible to the civil registry system. In a move to revise this trend, the government is scaling efforts to ensure that every child is officially registered. Today in Yaoundé, Cameroon's Minister of Women's Empowerment and the Family, Professor Marie-Thérèse Abena-Ondua, announced that the government is pumping in the sum of 266 million francs CFA to ensure that every child has a birth certificate. Details with Micheline Biloa.
At the heart of this action is a strong push to remove financial and administrative barriers to birth registration. The Minister of the Promotion of Women and the Family presided over the official handover ceremony of a financial support package amounting to 266,910,000 francs CFA to 18 councils today, Monday, December 29. The funds are intended to support the civil registration of 26,691 children nationwide,
which aims to guarantee that the fundamental rights of all citizens, particularly the most vulnerable, are met. This event follows the activities marking the 2025 edition of the International Day of the Rights of the Child, celebrated this year under the theme, My Day, My Rights.
Addressing participants, the minister explained that the initiative is part of a broader government strategy to strengthen the civil status system and guarantee every child's right to a legal identity.
Some funds for the establishment of birth certificates to children who did not have one. And the message is that parents should know that the deadline has been extended to 12 months to establish a birth certificate to a child after birth. And the funds you are giving to mayors today could have been used to support women in their income-generating activities. If we register all the newborn babies free of charge.
The beneficiary councils are tasked with implementing the program at grassroots level in collaboration with civil status services and community actors to ensure the targeted children are effectively registered. Through this initiative, the government aims to significantly reduce the number of unregistered children and strengthen child protection across the country.
So that at least every child across the 18 councils should have a birth certificate. On to something else. In a decisive move aimed at restoring peace, stability and development, traditional authorities of the Meta clan in Momo division in the northwest region of Cameroon have taken a firm step towards community development and lasting peace as over 20 funds converge on Bangui for a high-level conclave over the weekend. Details in the following report. Traditional authorities in the Meta clan, Momo division of the northwest region, have taken a firm step towards community development and peace as over 20 funds converge at the Chinam Funds Palace for a high-level conclave over the weekend. The meeting focused on pressing issues affecting the Meta people, particularly the relocation of schools that were displaced due to insecurity and the long-standing conflict between farmers and glaziers. The traditional rulers agreed that returning schools to their respective villages is critical for restoring normalcy, improving access to education, and encouraging displaced families to return home. On the issues of farmer-grazier conflict, the funds resolved to strengthen traditional dispute resolutions mechanism, promote dialogue, and ensure respect for agreed grazing boundaries to prevent further clashes. The conclave also emphasized the need for unity among traditional rulers and collaboration with administrative authorities to implement the resolutions reached. Participants expressed optimism that the decisions taken will help restore peace, stability and development in the Meta communities. The traditional rulers have pledged to follow up on the resolutions and ensure their implementation at the grassroots level. The holding of this very important conclave in the Meta land signals better days ahead for the Meta people. Let's now listen to the Secretary General of the Meta Funds Union, His Royal Highness Professor Fon Bacham Wilfred Fon, with the main objective and the resolutions arrived at following last weekend's conclave in Bangui.
The meeting that we had was because of some very burning issues that had to do with how the clan is governed. And the first observation we made was that there was the beginning of the return to schooling in the division, and we are very much encouraging that to continue, because some of us are where we are because we went to school, and so we would continuously encourage the efforts that have been made towards school returning. The other aspect that we dealt with was the aspect of respect of the funds, because some people have just gone crazy wild on social media and they do not respect the funds. And so basically we've advised that they should refrain from those kinds of habits and that they should continue to show this kind of respect like they did in the past. The third aspect that we very much encouraged and discussed was the fact that the funds themselves should be engaged in developmental issues, and we tried to bring our heads together to look at issues of low cost but high impact, and therefore encourage that the funds should be able to do that as well. The other aspect that we also dealt with was the issue of the clan heads, and we saw that this was a particular issue that was paining everybody, and so we also recognized and observed that it was an issue of between families, and asked that the heads of these families should meet under the auspices of their first son and be able to resolve that away from us so that we can continue to focus on developmental issues, and then by the time that we come back we would be able to see what that particular commission has done. The last aspect that we looked at also was how between neighbors and brothers there were issues on land disputes, and also appointed a commission to look into this so that it could be settled amicably without us having.
In Bamenda, Sunday worship in My Six Nkwen was thrown into chaos when a powerful explosion followed by heavy gunfire sent Christians scrambling for safety and left at least 2 persons dead. What exactly went wrong is the question we put to Jackie Nyebele.
2 people are feared dead after an explosion rattled Mile 6 Nkwen, Bamenda, this Sunday morning, triggering a heavy gunfire that disrupted church service in the area. The incident occurred as Christians were heading to worship, forcing other congregations, particularly around the St. Paula Mission Station in the Ndifenki neighborhood of Nkwen, to briefly cut services. According to an eyewitness, an improvised explosive device, IED, was allegedly planted along the roadside near the mission station. As worshippers were on their way to church, some vehicles reportedly passed over the spot. Moments later, a loud explosion was heard, followed by gunfire. People started screaming and running. It is not clear who would have planted the explosive device, but separatist fighters have in the past targeted security forces and locals with IEDs. Unconfirmed reports indicate that 4 security personnel on patrol were close to the explosive when it detonated, allegedly killing 2 of them. However, the incidents cannot independently be verified, these reports, and no official statement has yet been issued by authorities. In the aftermath of the blast, security forces were deployed across the neighborhood, mounting patrols and restricting movement as they secured the area and searched for possible suspects. The incident has renewed fears among residents of Nkwen, where sporadic violence linked to the ongoing Anglophone crisis continues to affect civilian life, including religious activities. As of the time of filing this report, tensions remain high.
News. In a moment that celebrates resilience, intellect, and the power of inclusive knowledge, the University of Bamenda stood still as history was made, marking a defining chapter in academic excellence and social transformation. Menang Benui Magdalene became one of the very first candidates to defend a PhD in physical education. Her works focus on team sports practice for athletes with special needs, as we hear in the following report. Joy and academic pride filled the University of Bamenda as Menang Benui Magdalene successfully defended her PhD thesis, earning the prestigious Doctor of Philosophy degree. Her research focused on the practice of team sport and subjective well-being of athletes in Yaoundé and Bamenda, aimed at promoting inclusion, physical well-being, and social integration through sport. The thesis highlights the importance of structured team sports in improving the physical health, confidence, and social interaction of persons living with disabilities, while also identifying challenges such as limited infrastructure, inadequate funding, and societal attitude.
The statement of problem of this research stems from the fact that in Yaoundé and in Bamenda, individuals with impairment face a lot of challenges, that is including limited access, adequate fundings, and social stigma.
The research shows that with the right support and policies, team sports can greatly improve the quality of lives of persons living with disabilities.
I think the topic is relevant and contemporary, contextual, trying to look at the infrastructural issues that we have as far as promoting certain athletic activities are concerned within.
Members of the academic jury commended the originality and social relevance of the research, noting that it contributes to policy decisions on inclusive sports development in Cameroon. Except, beyond academia, the research is expected to serve as a reference for policymakers, sports administrators, and disability rights advocates working to enhance participation in sports for persons living with disabilities.
And the only thing I have to tell her now is that you don't just take this PhD and go and put in a box or in a shelf. You have to continue working very hard.
The successful defense marks a major academic milestone for Dr. Menang Benui Magdalene and underscores the University of Bamenda's commitment to research that addresses real-life societal challenges. She expressed gratitude to her family for standing by her, while noting that the findings of her research will inspire greater investment in inclusive sports programs across the 2 regions.
The Doctor of Philosophy in Physical Education and Animation. It is through hard work and labor. I am very grateful and I'm happy because what I thought was going to be very impossible, today it is possible.
Dr. Menang Beni Magdalene is among the pioneer batch to defend a Doctor of Philosophy in Physical Education from the University of Bamenda, Faculty of Education. From Bamenda, we are heading to Garua because that city has entered a new chapter in urban transport. On December 24, 2025, the city officially received 100 electric buses, becoming the first city in the Central Africa to have those electric buses. Led by the city council and supported by administrative authorities, the initiative marks the launch of the Garua Transport Company, Green Mobility, Technological Innovation and Urban Ambition, a major turning point for the regional capital of the North. Jackie Nyebele.
It is a first in Central Africa. Garua has officially stepped into the era of green mobility with the inauguration of its first fully electric urban buses. On Wednesday, December 24, 2025, 400% electric buses were received in the courtyard of the Governor's Office of the North Region. The ceremony, presided over by Governor Jean Abate Idi, gathered administrative, municipal and regional authorities for what was described as a historic moment for the city. The day began with a field inspection of key infrastructure, charging stations, bus stops, shelters, and related equipment. According to technical teams, the works are completed at about 90%, with full technical acceptance scheduled in the coming days. The official presentation was followed by a grand caravan. The buses traveled through the main streets of the city of Benue, attracting curious and enthusiastic reactions from residents. These brand new vehicles with a 47-seat capacity are full air conditioned and offer an estimated driving range of 380 kilometers on the full charge. At the heart of this initiative is the creation of the Garua Transport Company, STG, spearheaded by the mayor of the city, Elhat Gura Belaji. According to him, the project is part of a long-term vision aimed at proving Garua with modern and sustainable infrastructure, similar to what is being implemented elsewhere in forward-looking urban centers. The durability of the service has already been anticipated. 3 young technicians were trained abroad to ensure the maintenance of the buses, guaranteeing the continuity and reliability of operations. By 2027, the urban community plans to expand the fleet to 27 fully electric buses, with a clear ambition to make Garua a national and potentially sub-regional benchmark for ecological urban mobility.
Set for a major boost in urban cleanliness following the acquisition of 6 brand new garbage collection trucks by the company in charge of waste management in the city of Bamenda. This is expected to strengthen efforts to address Bamenda's growing waste challenges. Details in the following report. Urban sanitation in Bamenda is receiving much needed lift with the arrival of 6 new garbage collection trucks acquired by Empire Group Corporation Company Limited. For years, residents across the city have grappled with irregular waste collection, overflowing bins, and illegal dumping sites, issues that have raised serious public health and environmental concerns. The new fleet is expected to significantly improve waste collection schedules, expand coverage to underserved neighborhoods, and reduce the accumulation of garbage along streets and public spaces.
These trucks, they will go a long way to improve the cleanliness of the city. At first, we had 7 trucks. With the coming of these 6, you see that we have about 13 trucks, which we are going to share within the TV sectors of Bamenda 1, Bamenda 2, and Bamenda 3, because we have this covered that will always, it can unfold and fold back, so that when the truck is running to the dump site, you will not see any of plastic or papers littering around. We'll also see that we'll penetrate into quarters, that will improve on our door-to-door activities to see that every quarter will benefit or enjoy the services provided by.
City authorities say the acquisition complements ongoing efforts by the Bamenda City Council to improve hygiene and sanitation standards in the city. This development comes at the right time and will go a long way in improving urban cleanliness. residents have welcomed the move, expressing hope that it would translate into cleaner surroundings and a reduction in health risks associated with poor waste management. As the trucks are expected to be fully deployed in the coming days, authorities are urging residents to properly dispose of their waste and cooperate with sanitation workers. Empire Group Corporation says the acquisition forms part of a broader plan to modernize waste management services in Bamenda. We are taking you back to the north region of Cameroon because the municipality of Gide in Cameroon's north region is ushering in a new era of local
to implement nearly 100 development projects. These initiatives will target key sectors including infrastructure, education, healthcare, access to drinking water, and the improvement of living conditions. Abdurrahman Saidu succeeds the late Yunusa Buba. With his new leadership in place, residents of Gide are hopeful that this commitment will translate into concrete and sustainable development for the municipality.
Indeed, a new dawn in Gide. To Boya now, a quiet Sunday turned into a scene of chaos and devastation as a powerful fire explosion ripped through the Moloko neighborhood in the regional capital of the southwest, leaving businesses in ruins and residents in shock. What actually went wrong? Details in the following report. Panic and confusion gripped residents and business owners in the Moloko neighborhood in Boya, southwest region, following a powerful fire explosion that broke out early Sunday, December 28. The blaze quickly spread through a row of business premises, consuming shops and destroying goods worth millions of francs CFA. At least one vehicle parked nearby was also completely burnt at Sosoliso. Eyewitnesses say the fire spread rapidly, forcing traders to abandon their shops as thick smoke filled the area.
Tonight, she say it don't come for park. We say me the move the through cable come up on top for up for onto the motor before fire take off. Yeah. So we don't struggle. We say me people they no lost in there around. I will say people come from us to monetize. We never lost. Now only for the beauty way. We cry, but for the another one, they will don't struggle for say more lost some.
Firefighters from Mutengene were rushed to the scene and began battling the inferno. However, their operation faced a major setback after water supply was exhausted while the fire was still raging. The mayor of Boya, Barrister David Mafani Namange, visited the site.
A pathetic situation. What has happened today, the first thing is that there was an incident, there was a truck going down and it accidentally cut off one of the electric cables crossing the road. This led to a spark in a car that was parked and it got burnt and the fire extended to a building next by. Seemingly a building material or what we fondly call fairly used goods shop, what they call Bukan. And we want to express our gratitude first to God that no human casualties were retained or involved.
Security forces later secured the area to prevent further danger, while authorities say investigations will be opened to determine the cause of the explosion and the fire. Residents are calling on authorities to strengthen firefighting capacity in Boya to prevent similar incidents in the future. Meanwhile, affected traders are appealing for assistance as they struggle to recover from the devastating losses. News One live from Yaoundé, Cameroon's political capital. Let's now go foreign. And vote counting has begun in Central Africa after generally calm elections, despite isolated security incidents and low turnout in some regions. And still on elections, Guineans have voted in their first election since the 2021 military coup when Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya overthrew President Alpha Condé and dissolved institutions. We have details of the foreign news roundup with Micheline Biloa.
In the Central African Republic, vote counting is underway following general elections, held amid tight security. Polling took place peacefully in most parts of the country, despite logistical challenges and concerns raised by opposition parties. Authorities reported a satisfactory turnout, while international observers noted isolated delays but no major incidents. The elections are seen as a crucial test for democratic stability in a country still recovering from years of armed conflict. Final results are expected in the coming days, and security forces remain on alert to prevent post-election unrest. In Guinea, voters have gone to the polls for the first elections since the 2021 military coup that overthrew President Alpha Condé. The coup was led by Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya, who dissolved the government and suspended the constitutions, citing corruption and poor governance. These elections mark a key step in the transition back to civilian rule, though opposition groups remain cautious. Authorities say the vote demonstrates progress toward restoring constitutional order after more than 3 years of military-led transition. The United Kingdom has announced new visa restrictions targeting travelers from the Democratic Republic of Congo, citing concerns over irregular migration and document fraud. British authorities say the measures aim to strengthen border controls and ensure compliance with immigration rules. Kinshasa has expressed regret over the decision, calling for dialogue to avoid penalizing ordinary citizens. The move comes amid strained migration policies across Europe as governments seek to curb rising asylum applications.
Encounter of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon held reigning champions Cote d'Ivoire to a hard-fought 1-1 draw in Marrakesh last evening, showcasing resilience, skill, and unyielding determination. After full time, the players remained optimistic going forward, as we share in the following report. The Indomitable Lions displayed resilience and determination in a highly competitive encounter against reigning African champions, the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire, in their second outing at the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, as a highly contested encounter ended 1-1 in Marrakesh on Sunday night.
I expect us to qualify first in our group and to make sure we go further, because we are not here to accompany the other teams. We are here to win. So I believe winning the last game will give us more confidence to go into the second round.
Facing a strong Ivorian side, Cameroon matched their opponents in intensity, creating scoring chances and showing tactical discipline throughout the game.
They're a very big African team, so we knew their qualities, we knew how to stop them, but they played a very good game. I think it was a good game on both sides, so yeah, that's it.
Good. I think the team played a very good game. It was a tough opponent, tough game, but I think we was there and we was prepared for it. And yeah, obviously both teams could have won today. We have chances they had as well, but yeah, we are now ready to prepare the next game.
Although the results may not have fully reflected their efforts, players say the performance highlights the growing cohesion and quality within the squad.
I mean, it was such a good result for us. We play against one of the biggest teams in Africa. I mean, a lot of young players on this team. Only 1 week to get ready for this tournament. We do our job tonight. We tied the game.
What should we expect?
With one more group match to play, the Indomitable Lions are now focused on refining their tactics and converting chances as they push for qualification to the knockout stages. The Lions remain united and determined to build on the positives from the Cote d'Ivoire clash as the tournament progresses. The man of the match, Amad Diallo, praised the Cameroonian squad.
Cameroon, we know at the beginning, Straway was a good team, good opponents. They have good players in the team, like Brian, Carlos Baleba, who play in the Premier League. So we know Straway is going to be a tough game for us. But like I say, we want to win every game, so we want to win this competition. And if you want to win this competition, you have to start now.
Cameroon will return to action in their next group game later this week, with qualifications still firmly within reach.